Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be my review for a movie that I was, finally finished, and this is going to be the second part of the Middle Earth series reviews. This time reviewing the 2002 sequel to The Lord of the Rings: Fellowship of the Ring, The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. And I was definitely very looking forward to this sequel because of the way Fellowship of the Ring ended, and because of how much I liked Fellowship of the Ring. I loved Fellowship of the Ring. I mean, I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was a great way to start the franchise. I was totally into it. There was never a time where I wasn't into it. I was into it the entire time. I loved the story. Really loved everything that was going on with that movie, and I was definitely looking forward to The Two Towers because of that. And what did I think of The Two Towers? The Two Towers, in my opinion, is superior to Fellowship of the Ring. I think it's a better story. I think it's constructed better. And that's pretty much because of what happened at the end of Fellowship of the Ring. Now let's get to the plot of The Two Towers. So as we know, at the end of Fellowship of the Ring, the Fellowship was broken because Frodo and Sam went off to go to Mordor. That's where they went. While Aragorn, Legolas and Gilmy were pursuing or were in Rohan, and we didn't know what happened to Merry and Pippin. So in this movie, we have basically three plots going on. Frodo and Sam go to, basically are on their way to Mordor. They end up finding Gollum there, and we actually see Gollum, who in the first movie, I really like the way they showed Gollum. He was, we barely saw him, but we knew sort of more about him, and in this, we actually get to see his character full on. So they continue their journey to Mordor, and basically, they're attacked by Gollum, and they capture Gollum, who tells them that he's gonna help them lead the way, but of course, in the back of your mind, you're like, he's kind of still under, kind of possessed by, Smeagol, so you never know. And then in Rohan, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gilmy are trying to pursue the Uruk-hai, who have taken Merry and Pippin prisoner. So we find out what happened to Merry and Pippin, basically, and we also find out that Merry and Pippin have fled into Fangorn Forest and meet Treebeard, the oldest of the Ents. So we kind of have those three plots going on. And we also find, and also going on is that obviously there's a lot going on because of the death of Gandalf, which we're reminded of in the very beginning of the movie. Saruman has now basically he has allied himself with Sauron in the last film. He has now taken over as the king and has all the power, and that's obviously not good because he is now working with Sauron, who they're trying to take down, obviously. And that's basically the plot of The Two Towers. I know there's a lot going on there. By the way, the reason this movie is called The Two Towers is because Frodo and Sam, one of the towers is at Mordor, and the other one is, I believe, at I don't know what the other, but it symbolizes where they are. Okay, there's a lot to talk about there. I don't know a lot about the mythology, but that's basically what the plot of the Lord of the Rings: Two Towers is about, and I think that is already a very compelling plot. And let's get to the acting in this movie. One of the things I love about the acting in this movie is that there are many things that happen in this movie that the other actors, the other characters are not aware of. Primarily Frodo, our main character, of course. He is completely in the dark about a lot of the things that happen with Aragorn and Legolas and Gilmy that he does not know. For example, he's with Sam the entire movie, and he kind of isn't really sure if he should trust Gollum or not, and he still wants to destroy the ring. That's what he still wants to do, obviously. He still wants to destroy the ring and everything, so I thought he did even a better job in this movie. I really liked his character. I love the bonding between him and Sam. That's something I'm always going to love. Sean Ashton, as I said, did a great job still as well. These two work perfectly together. You can see the chemistry has improved even more in this movie, and I thought they did a great job with that as well. And then we have Ian McKellen as Gandalf, who's even more badass in this one, because Gandalf comes back, like, I'd say about 20 minutes back into the movie, and we find out that he is now Gandalf the White. And what I love about Gandalf the White is he is even more powerful than ever, pretty much. So he's gonna help them basically take down, what's his name? Now I can't remember his name. Saruman. He's gonna help him take down Saruman, basically, and he did an amazing job as well. You know, he's just such a badass. I love that about Gandalf. He gives you motivational speeches, but he will, you know, he's very powerful. He knows how to take down people. He will fight people. There's a great scene where he takes down Saruman. It's just so badass. I mean, he is so awesome. And he really portrays him perfectly. I love Ian McKellen in these movies. He's absolutely fantastic. So, there's also a great scene in the beginning of Gandalf just being badass, you know, before he died, trying to take down Balrog. I mean, it's awesome what he did. So, he definitely did a great job in this, too. I thought he was even better in The Two Towers. Then we have Viggo Mortensen, of course, as Aragorn, who, one of the things I like about his character is after, you know, Sauron is killed, basically, you know, after, not after kill, but after Saruman is basically told by Gandalf that he can't be the king anymore, Aragorn starts to think maybe I could be the king. Plus, he still is having fantasies about Arwen. Of course, Arwen had told him, "You're never gonna see me again." So let's go to Liv Tyler's Arwen. I really like some stuff that happened with her character in this movie because her father tells her that she can't be with Aragorn. We find out that the whole reason she said that to me is because her father does not want her and Aragorn together. But she truly does want to be with Aragorn. Now, we don't actually see a resolution to that in this movie. I'm assuming we're going to see a resolution to that in Return of the King. So, I'm assuming we're going to see a resolution of that, but I think it definitely is very well done. I like that twist. I thought Liv Tyler did an even better job in this movie. I definitely really enjoyed her character more because of that. All the other characters are really good. Pippin and Merry have some really good comedic stuff. Everything that was going on with them was very, very funny. But let's talk about Andy Serkis. Oh my god, this is why Andy Serkis is known as the man to do creature voices. Because he does such a good job as Gollum. Gollum is legitimately creepy because Gollum, of course, is, you know, possessed by Smeagol. There are so many scenes where Gollum and Smeagol are talking to each other, and you don't really know if Gollum's okay with it, you know, what Gollum thinks of it, and I think it's very well done the way they portrayed that. Gollum, of course, does want the ring, but Smeagol at the same time, you know, is telling him, so kind of influencing him to do these things, and I think that's interesting the way they portrayed that, and Gollum is such an interesting character because of that, and I definitely really enjoyed that. Gollum could have been a very annoying character, you know, he could have been sort of like Jar Jar Binks, or you know, a character like that, that's kind of just annoying and doesn't really need to be there, but Gollum's not like that at all. If anything, Gollum is like Dobby from Harry Potter, you know, he's an essential character, and he's a character you care about a lot, so I definitely really enjoyed about Gollum, and I really like the creepiness of him. They portrayed that very, very well, definitely. The director, of course, is Peter Jackson, and he did even a better job in this movie. One of the things that I will say about this movie is that this is the movie with the least amount of action. There are two crucial battles in this movie. The Battle of Helm's Deep, and, you know, that's the final battle, and I don't know what the other battle's called, but I know there are two battles. I can't remember the name of the first battle, but the main one is the Battle of Helm's Deep. But besides that, there isn't too much action in this movie. So it requires a lot more for Peter Jackson to direct this movie, and he directed it perfectly, because the movie was never boring. The movie was actually more interesting because of that, and the way he decided to divide everyone, you know, the way he decided to do the split story format was very well done. We could have just focused on Frodo and Sam and not know what happened to the others. We could have done that. But no, Peter Jackson wants to develop pretty much everyone. I thought that was very well done, definitely. I like that we didn't go like a split story where we focused on this character and this character and this. You know, I was happy that we didn't go like, you know, one plot. We focused on every single character that we saw in the first movie to see the, you know, the progression with them. And I thought that he definitely did that very, very well. And the other thing that's very good about this movie is the screenplay. Screenplay is very interesting. You know, you're into it the entire time, and I definitely really enjoyed the screenplay. I believe that it actually won Best Screenplay. No, it didn't actually. It did not win Best Screenplay, but I believe it was nominated. It did win Best Visual Effects and Best Sound Editing, which it definitely deserves because this movie has so many amazing visual effects and such amazing sound editing. I've talked about this before. These movies are loud, okay? These movies are really, really loud, to the point where my mom came down and said something. My dad and I were watching this movie together. My mom came down to talk to him, and I couldn't even hear what she was saying. That's how loud these movies are, and that's awesome. I love when you have a nice, loud, you know, epic fantasy movie. It's awesome when you can do that. The cinematography, as I said before in the first one, even better in this one. I thought the cinematography was even more awesome in this one. That's probably because of, where the characters go in this. Treebeard and Gollum, just all of that cinematography was amazing. And, it's really cool the way they do that cinematography. I definitely really enjoyed that. I thought that was great cinematography. Score also great. Editing is also perfect. I really had no problems with the editing at all. In fact, this one seemed to move quicker than The Fellowship of the Ring. This movie's 1 minute longer than The Fellowship of the Ring, but it seemed to move even quicker. And I don't really know what it was. It just seemed like it moved a lot quicker, and I really don't know why, but it did. It seemed to move quicker to me. So I thought that was definitely very well done, and I definitely really enjoyed that. And now let's get to the spoilers for the movie. If you guys have not seen Two Towers, which you definitely should, because, I mean, it's been around since 2002, so you need to, if you haven't seen it, watch it now. Don't be like me and wait to watch it. Just don't do that. Watch it now, and pause, and then come back, and I'll talk about spoilers. So, of course, let's talk about the Battle of Helm's Deep, which is probably one of the most awesome battles I've ever seen. Oh, also, I need to talk about Orlando Bloom. Orlando Bloom, I forgot to talk about him in the acting department. Awesome character. I even liked his character more in this one. I mean, there's that really awesome scene in the Battle of Helm's Deep where Legolas is just, like, surfing as he's shooting arrows. I mean, that's awesome. It's awesome to watch. It sounds ridiculous, but it's awesome to watch, and it really just shows how epic these movies really are. That's just an awesome battle. And Battle of Helm's Deep really is a really awesome battle. And I know Return of the King has an even more awesome battle, but the Battle of Helm's Deep is pretty badass. And one of the things I love about it is that we cut away from it several points, but when we come back to it, it's even more badass that goes on. Of course, Haldir is killed in that battle, which was definitely very big because he was going to, he was leading the Battle of Elves, so that was definitely very crazy what happened there. Treebeard then rallies his kinsmen into attacking Isengard to exact vengeance on Saruman, and that was definitely very crazy. Aragorn leads Theoden and everything, and that was insane what was going on in that whole scene. And then, of course, at Isengard, the Ents effortlessly defeat the Uruk-hai and break the river dam, so everything's good there. It strands Saruman in his tower, so we really don't know what's gonna happen to Saruman. There's a cliffhanger, and we gotta wait till Return of the King to see what happens. And I think that's a good cliffhanger because it's like, I was actually happy they didn't kill Saruman. I thought they were gonna kill Saruman in this movie, but I'm happy they didn't kill Saruman because it makes us more hopeful for Return of the King. See, it makes us more interested in seeing what's gonna happen in Return of the King, and I definitely like that they went that route and did not kill Saruman. And then, of course, Faramir has the hobbits taken to the war-torn Osgiliath. And Merry and Pippin, I love what happens to them. They find that food and everything. And, of course, hobbits love to eat. And they find, basically, the drugs, the pipe and everything. I thought that was definitely very funny. And then, of course, Frodo and Sam, they're in the most peril right now because of what ends up happening with Gollum. Gollum ends up talking to Sméagol, and Sméagol convinces Gollum that he wants to have reclaim the ring by having, the ring, basically, by having her, I don't know who her is, having her, Shelob, kill, Sam, and, by having her, we don't know who her is yet, but by having that, someone kill Frodo and Sam are completely in the dark about it. I love the way the movie ends. The other thing that the movie does is that they do not get back together. They're still separate. Okay, they're not like, the Fellowship is not back together yet, and I like that because if they were to bring them back together, yes, it would be really cool, but I'm happy that they're not back together because the line that Gandalf says is even more awesome. Of course, Gandalf says that the battle, probably the best line in the movie, in my opinion. The Battle of Helm's Deep is over. The Battle of Middle-earth is about to begin. And I love the way he says that. It's so awesome. And it really shows that he is going to do, he is going to mess Sauron up. He is going to get vengeance for this. And that's why Gandalf is such a badass. It's one of the things I just love about Gandalf. And that's one of the things I love about the series in general. And that's basically how the movie ends. And I think that's awesome that the movie really, really ends that way because it's awesome. And that's basically it for my review, Lord of the Rings Two Towers. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of this movie. Overall, I thought this movie was 10 times better than the first one. I was more into it. I like the story more. Don't get me wrong, I love the Fellowship of the Ring, but I love this so much more. Like, this is, like, up so much more than Fellowship of the Ring was. Fellowship of the Ring is here, and Two Towers would be here. I mean, Two Towers is even better than Fellowship of the Ring. It does what a sequel should do. It does what a good, you know, end of the movie should do. It makes you more excited for the last movie, and I will see you guys for my next video. Let me know what you guys think of this movie. Of course, I will leave my Letterboxd review down below, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for the, mid-season finale of The Walking Dead. So I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.